Hi, this is Stuart Talley. I'm the partner here responsible for the DePuy ASR litigation. And the reason I'm doing this video today is to provide some information about a category of case that is involved in the DePuy ASR litigation, and that specifically relates to non-revised cases. So there are a large number of people who have cases on file against DePuy for their ASR hip, but they still have the hip in them. It hasn't been taken out yet. We call those cases non-revised cases. Now, there is a process that is coming up and an election that has to be made for non-revised cases, and that election must happen before January 31st. And the election really relates to the kind of situation that you're in. There are some non-revised cases where people don't have any problems with the hip. They may have a little pain, they may have high cobalt, but it's not that high, and their doctors have indicated that they don't need revision surgery. Those people can basically elect to have their case dismissed, and it will be dismissed without prejudice. Okay, so what that means is that you reserve all of your rights if you dismiss your case. And the statute of limitations is tolled, okay, and DePuy has agreed to that. So what that means is that if there's a statute of limitations, which is the time in which you have to file a case that applies to your case, from the moment you dismiss it to the moment that you refile it, okay, that statute's not running. Now, the way this agreement works with DePuy is that if you do need revision down the road, you can refile your case. And it's almost like you just step back into the position that you're in today. So if you're a non-revised case and you're sort of in this waiting pattern, the best thing you can do is agree to dismiss your case and then wait until something happens. And hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully you never have to have revision and everything goes fine with the hip and you won't need to refile your case. Now, the second kind of non-revised case is very unique, and that's cases where people have a DePuy ASR and their doctor may have recommended that they have revision, but because of some health issue, they can't. The types of health issues we've seen with our clients are people who have heart issues that are discovered during the workup before the revision surgery. We also have cases where people have had so many hip surgeries before the DePuy ASR went in that their surgeons do not want to operate, even though they know the DePuy ASR is leaching cobalt into their system and is actually causing damage to the hip. Now, what's important to know, if you fall into that category, your case does not have to be dismissed. That's a case that could potentially go to trial and potentially win, okay? But the key to that, the key to a case where you have a non-revised person who has some health issue, is you have to show that the cobalt and chromium ions that are being released from the hip are actually causing tissue damage in the hip joint. And sometimes that can be difficult. The kinds of tests that you need to show that is you need blood tests, and you need blood tests every 6 months, okay? You also need a test called a Mars MRI, and that's sort of the key. The Mars MRI is an MRI that can be done on a hip. It's a special kind of MRI, and it can tell you whether you have a pseudotumor or fluid accumulation or some type of inflammatory response in the soft tissue of your hip. So if you're one of those people, I highly recommend that you get those tests done, that you follow up with your doctor on a regular basis so that it's documented that you actually are having problems with the hip. So that's where we are. If you're a non-revised person, you have to make this decision as to sort of what category you fall in. Are you the kind of person who is going to have your case dismissed and potentially refile it if something goes wrong with the hip? Or are you a person who is going to continue with the case going forward? Again, my name is Stuart Talley. If you have any questions about the ASR settlement or you have a DePuy ASR, feel free to give me a call. You can reach me at the phone number on the screen, or you can visit us at our website and fill out one of our online forms.